What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In this video, we are jumping into Mary Jane and Black Cat issue number 3. After the events of Dark Web, Mary Jane and Black Cat, they find themselves in Limbo. Being stuck here, they struck a deal with Belasco, Limbo's former ruler. They would be granted passage to Earth in exchange for braving the Screaming Tower. They do this to retrieve the key to controlling the demonic dimension, Belasco's lost soul sword. Unfortunately for Felicia and MJ, the various highly dangerous parties across the multiverse, they are trying to get their hands, claws, and tentacles on this sword. But as luck may have it, they may have found their best chance at survival with a helping hand from Sim. Now, make sure you guys have liked this video, make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so we are picking up with Mary Jane and Black Cat just being rescued by Sim. They didn't fall to their death in that bottomless pit, but now they have this giant of a demon standing before them. As they make their introduction, Sim asks if they are looking for the lost soul sword. Now, of course, Felicia is gonna pretend she has no idea what he is talking about. But he has already figured out that Belasco more than likely is the one that sent them, getting Earth Girls to go after it for him. When it comes to Sim, his story is always the minion, never the overlord. First, Belasco, who's originally an Earth boy himself. He was running Limbo. And then Magic, and then Prior actually cutting off one of his fingers. The way he sees it, why shouldn't the soul sword go to him? Why shouldn't it go to somebody that is actually from Limbo? This is where Felicia, she finally admits that yes, we're working for him, and why don't we work together? Why don't we team up, get to the sword, and then we can betray each other later? With Sim on board 100%, this is where Felicia exposes the soul compass. Because while Sim may be the strongest thing in this plane of existence, the only thing he is truly concerned about inside this tower is the Guardian. But he has no idea where he is going. Luckily, they have the compass. Luckily, this compass only works for Felicia, or at least that's what she tells Sim, so that he doesn't betray them right here, right now. And while our two ladies, they seem to be a little bit concerned about the others that might be coming for the sword, Sim says that it's not really that much of a concern. The truth is, they don't have the guts to enter the Screaming Tower. All of them are camped outside. They got the same deal that they did. They are gonna wait for somebody to bring the sword out, and then it is going to be an all-out bloodbath for who gets the sword. Sim does tell them that they probably don't need to worry about it, because by the time that they get there, Sim will probably have already betrayed them and taken the sword from them. The level of honesty, it's a little bit refreshing. Sim isn't lying to them in the slightest bit. Felicia isn't lying to him either. They know that the betrayal is inevitable, but the biggest concern is the Guardian. And so they make their way through the Screaming Tower, helping one another along the way. The whole time, Felicia, she is struggling. She is struggling with the idea that she is dating more or less Peter Parker and has yet to tell MJ. She told MJ that she wouldn't do it, that she wasn't interested in Peter, but obviously that's not true. And now she is finding it very difficult to actually tell MJ the truth. But as they make their way through, this is where they get their first attack. Would appear to be crows or ravens with eyes all over their bodies, screaming intruder at them. Felicia tells MJ not to use her powers just yet, to save it for an opportunity where they're really gonna need it, like the Guardian. As they take out this giant flock of birds, Felicia knows that this is a good sign, because guards means that they are getting close. This is when they go ahead and they ask Sim about the Guardian. saying if they're gonna face against it, they should probably know a little something about it. And he goes on to say that it's a nasty piece of work, or at least he has been told. The thing is, this tower, the Dark Gods didn't build it to keep the Soul Sword safe. That's what the Guardian is for. The Screaming Tower was meant to imprison the Guardian. And that is when, from behind Sim's back, we see the giant Guardian. A giant worm-like trimmer-looking creature. A little Kevin Bacon movie reference there for those that got it. Sim looks over his shoulder and he tells them to scatter. As they all go running, they cannot run quick enough. This is where MJ activates her powers. Rolling that slot machine, she gets 2 skulls and bar, with Sim getting grabbed up by the tentacles. MJ now only having the power of colored smoke. This is when she starts to piece it together. This bad luck, it is coming from Felicia. Black Cat is giving her bad luck with her powers. But Felicia says that that shouldn't be happening, that it only causes bad luck for her enemies. This doesn't make sense unless subconsciously Felicia is seeing MJ as her enemy. MJ trying to figure this out in her head, saying it can't be something that she did. Felicia would never let her forget it if that were the case, which means it is something about her. Finally piecing it together that this has gotta be about Peter, with Sim, Felicia, and MJ all in the grasp of the Guardian. That is where this issue will end. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. You know, outside of Dark Web and the Amazing Spider-Man, which I wasn't a huge fan of, I did want to continue on this story just to see where it goes, and issue number 3 is actually pretty good. We're seeing that every time MJ has this problem, she is getting bad luck over and over and over again. She hasn't been rolling anything really that great. Her powers have been pretty pathetic to say the least. But now we know why. It is because of Felicia. It is because of Black Cat. Subconsciously, she has been seeing MJ as a type of enemy. This is because of the unresolved conflict that is going on inside of her head. Being too scared, too cowardly to come outright and just say that she is dating Peter. That is what has caused this entire predicament. And so obviously now she's gotta come clean. In the worst of times. Definitely now not how she wanted to say it. But nonetheless she needs to if she wants MJ to be able to roll again and get some kind of power that can get them out of this. But for a miniseries, this is pretty entertaining, it's enjoyable. We'll definitely see it all the way through and see where this lands on the other side. But yeah, let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you would like to get completely caught up on everything going on with this series, be sure to check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It will get you completely caught up on everything going on with Mary Jane and Black Cat. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. Much like Patreon, having 5 different tiers, from $1 to $50, from loyalty badges to getting free comics every single month. Not only does this help out the channel tremendously, but you are getting tons of perks in the process. Now, if you are unable to do any of that, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.